Divine Feminine. Now, yes, we do have lives on Friday. Before we get into the read, very quick intro. And yes, there is a set limit. You need to be subscribed for 8 days. We will have, however, other readings that are going to be live, and you can join that, and you don't need to be a member. But in order to become part of that Twin Flame update that is live on the Fridays, you can come through and join the super chat. Now, very separately, we have this content open a week ahead of the game into your reading. Now, I got some messages for you guys. Good gosh. I tell you, I started recording this and I had to stop because I wanted to dive deeper into the animal totem meaning. Now, I selected for you guys a ruin cast, and an animal totem came through at the last minute. So it was almost like, you know, my guide stopped me. And I do know a lot about animal totems, which I will create a series on the page, but we have dived deeper into this. Now, the animal totem you are coming through this week is cockatoo totem. We're going to quickly look over this before we get into your read, because it is going to be quite a synchronistic message in relating to it. Now, number one is cockatoos do mate for life. It also does come down to the colour of the bird, definitely feather totem, similar to Divine Masculine, and that really has been coming through pretty much since October, but it's got heavier, more than likely due to the aftermath of the eclipse energy. The cockatoo is notoriously linked to masculine and feminine energies, and it's very strong in its tradition relating to mythology. Very separately, it is very psychic. It is very much like a past life energy and afterlife energy. And it also can, like I said, they basically mate for life. It's very spiritual. Your guides can be with you. Dive deeper into it, because I do really feel it's going to have additional messages for you in a symbology term. The other thing is family. I do know that the energy can come through with cockatoo totem relating to family and tribe, which really relates to the ruin cast that I've selected for you. It's encouraging you to remain in your expect the unexpected, very much Uranus and Taurus, but it's also contemplate. You could be dealing with fear-based frequencies, acceptances of circumstance, but inevitably the flow of life is going to continue, and there is going to be a brand new beginning, so to speak. Now, the ruin cast that you had, so jump into that further, because I do feel psychically there's always a very personal message when we do. It's almost like our guides will guide us to that actual update. That it's going to have a synchronistic message where it's going to land for us at an individual level. Now, the ruin cast that I selected does link to your reading, and I was really picking that you guys are coming through the gate in your reading with your cards. If you see the bottom foundation level, they're yellow and orange, which is to do with creativity and power. Okay, so we'll jump into the ruin cast and we'll get straight into the channeled messages, which these still are very relevant to this week in the mix for you as an energy. The constellation is Cancer. It does relate to Swan. Again, we've got another bird totem. And it really, really linking to the twin flame path. Nurturing, nourishment, mothering, fertility, beauty, healing, and growth. Earth mother, spirituality, growth, sustenance. It's not in reverse, it's in the upright. And it is to do with a brand new, fresh start. It's a new creative venture. Having the courage, which is really going to be called upon you, especially if you do follow me, go through and look at Divine Masculine's reading. For some of you, you may need to be prepared for some movement into your read, my beautiful. So yes, the courage, creativity, shaking that energy off if you've got wounds, really coming through and doing the work and being prepared for this sudden change. Now, what I'm saying from the crowning energy is the first thing, I laughed when I saw this, especially because I am a divine feminine, and it can be that you have a lot going on in your mind. This can be going over old conversations, old beliefs. I feel it's old conversations. Maybe a statement piece that's been made to you and you're quite perplexed by it. But the other thing I was getting is you have a whole lot to say. And it did make me laugh, because I have to laugh at myself, quite frankly, as a divine feminine. And, really feeling as though If somebody does push you, you're probably going to tell them where to go. But that potentially could be the aftermath of the eclipse. For very bold ideas, you may have a very busy week, and don't underestimate such, especially come through and listen to our energy reads, because I really feel by this point in the month it's really going to be picking up. Especially from the tarot oracles and everything that my guides have been showing me. Now, we have the Magician in the past tense position, and I feel in some sense it could be where you had power, but maybe didn't realize such, taking your power back. I also feel in relation to the Magician energy, it's quite funny. Sometimes it can be these psychic attacks we have. Sometimes it can be the feeling that somebody was not using their power effectively. In this context, I do feel it's linking to divine masculine. Divine feminine, you guys at the moment are in this, you're trying to get grounded. And I remember back in October, moving through October, November, the term I was hearing was the floor was lava. I feel this can be a time where we're getting our equilibrium back. And I thought it was very relevant that these cards came out. They were quite chakra in orientation, especially after our eclipse in Taurus. Many divine feminines are trying to get their bearings and their balance back. This can be subjects to do with family, subjects to do with home, subjects to do with stability. But in the heart center, it's requiring, it's almost like you're sending out to the ethers. You better come grounded. And I do think for you, you're getting into that heart space, but you're also getting grounded. You're trying to get your ducks in a row and keeping your heart. You're very set, let me put it that way. But remember, the ruin cast and the animal totem is saying, be open, okay? Especially when you cross-reference divine masculines read. You may need to do the inner child work with the ruin cast in a suggestion sense if triggers come up. And that's because many of us, when we have been on the path for a long time and we've had this lack of momentum, lack of movement, we really do take it as the status quo. And it definitely never is. However, due to that Rapunzel effect, it's like, look, unless it's safe, I'm really not walking on lava. You guys do particularly, you kind of like, what am I going into it? You could have a lot to focus on this week, and very separately, I do feel you're trying to block out those psychic attacks from counterpart for those of you who aren't in communication. Some of you are redirecting and kind of having that question mark over your life, where is the dream? I also feel some of you are in this detox stage, and it can be wanting to get fit, might be saying, hey, I want to get my energy source back. Especially with getting your dreams back into alignment. Dream status, I do feel, is going to be quite relevant, and I feel that's going to be all the way through to next year. So I do feel from a psychic point of view, a lot of us are going to have to protect our third eye, drink a lot more fluid and be prepared for all the transitions. Unless you're hearing, you kind of in your head going, I'm not going to hear anything. Nothing new is going to happen, but I just feel that this is not so. I feel this is your mindset. This is what you feel you're going into. You also are tired of excuses. So if people are BSing you, you're going to have less threshold. I feel you're very intentional towards your goals. This grounded state you're attempting to come through with is to correct path and to get things back on track. But you're definitely taking your power back in your own personal life. Now, in the connection as per se, even that, people, places and things around you, if they're coming to you with 99 problems, you're very goal orientated at the moment. This may be through circumstances just that are very natural, having a lot on your plate. There can be this rebellious notion where we want to really unwind and, we're going into the silly season, and that can be causing some sense of emotion. But it could be that psychically you're not blocking out counterpart, because I do feel a lot of you are going to get these downloads. This is where, in the heart of it, I'm really seeing with this blue energy coming through, you're holding your tongue, but if you're guided to, you will speak. If you're guided to, you will stand your ground. Some of you are also, you're holding on for grim death. It's like, okay, and this can be that you are still trying to get grounded post-eclipse, trying to connect with nature, but feeling potentially due to circumstances that were playing out around you that you'll believe it when you see it, which is perfectly understandable. This can be a limiting. I really do see this as a lot of detachment. Now, is detachment a good thing? 100% it is. Detachment, how can it look? It can look like disillusionment, quite frankly. It's like, I don't believe you. You're full of BS. That sort of analogy, I do feel some of you could be coming in with. But deep down, very separately inside your soul, you do have infinite trust that things are changing. But at a humanistic level, it can be, look, I'm guided to move forward. I'm guided to trust the process, getting grounded, dealing with some things at a personal level in your life. And I do feel there's a transformation here. But you're having this revelation that it's going to come when it's ready. But I really feel go through and look at Divine Masculine's route. There's a lot of heart healing here. I feel it's really funny, you know, we even go through stages of forgiving ourselves. It's like, why have I allowed this? You know, we really don't have control over other people's reactions. And I remember a part in my journey where I was ever so mad at myself because how dare a psychic medium, intuitive energy empath not know what was coming. And that was because I was quite self-focused. And I don't mean that in a narcissistic way, but I'd really purged the necessity to parent another individual. So I had to revisit that frequency. I had to revisit and actually look at the fact, look, that had nothing to do with you, Yildiz. What another person does and why they do it and why they're broken, that has nothing to do with you. And I think feminine is realizing this. Feminine is going to be moving into this very accelerated energy of ascension. It can feel extremely scary and exciting all simultaneously. I do feel there's going to be a blessing that's coming to you, which is going to be so beautiful. And I do feel some of you just, it's like there's a 360. It's like, you know, you've sort of detached. You've got to a point, you're like, look, I'm trying to be grounded. I'm trying to be understanding, but I do have a lot to say. You know, really from the, you know, it's like if you want me to express how I'm feeling, it could be that you go into a conversation piece and communication does come in with counterpart and you're expressing your side of the story. I don't necessarily feel this is going to be aggro. I feel you're going to be able to hold your cool. I do feel you could feel after the fact, oh my gosh, have I said something wrong? Is that correct? Should I have said that? But I don't think this is bad. I actually think it's quite positive. So we're looking at this. You know, I feel some of you are feeling that that person didn't believe in you, and I really don't feel that's the case. I feel this person was really struggling in their own metamorphosis and transformation. I do think this person stays up quite late at night. I'm noticing the lotus flower with the butterfly, but I'm getting moth totem, especially with the ruin cast, you know, everything to do with family and conditioning. I really do feel we're purging out, especially with this ruin cast that has come through. And Divine Masculine will have the embodiment of the emotional sense of things, which will directly relate. Foundation level, you guys are like, look, I want to have the courage. I want to be happy. I want to feel confident. I want to feel upbeat. I feel some of you are, you know, feeling more passionate and fierce to do with life. And I'm really noticing, I'm so amused by this. And it's only because it's a very bold feminine coming through. Almost like her vibration is, look, I'm shaking the cobwebs off and I'm getting up and, you know, we've got Nicki Minaj kind of scenario going on here where Divine Feminine's ascending and she knows who she is. She knows who she's made of. I do feel this is actually keeping Divine Masculine on their toes, and I feel this can be coming through in the ethers because of your vibrational shift. I do feel this person wants to heal it with you, but you're just throwing caution to the wind. You're like, look, I'm going to have fun. I'm going to do me. And I think it's because of that. There's a shift in this individual. I don't think you're going to quite expect the shift within counterpart. This can be a very deep feeling emotion, but I think you need to be open to the fact that there is a potential. There could be some changes coming in your twin flame path. Now, do go back and really, really have a look at your energy. how the energy is shifting. Come back to this a week later to really gauge how things have panned out, especially if you do want me to channel your energy. Always come through and join a super chat or join our website and you can get a booking with me one-on-one. I am very similar to how I am on YouTube, to how I am with you guys online. Now, don't forget, research further and tell me what cockatoo totem to you in a synchronistic message meant to you. See you soon. We are live on Fridays. Hope to see you on the other side. Take care, beautifuls, and get ready for communication.